Let's get it. Yo, what is going on, squad? Happy Tuesday. It's your boy. We're coming at you guys with another freaking live stream. Changing the times today. So now that the show is done, I'm switching things up a little bit. I'm switching up the workflow, trying to keep things fresh. You know the vibes. As you guys are pulling up, let me know what's good. Let's do it. I'm going to pin this comment. Hold up. Let's go. Let's go. Kate, what's good? Brando, what's going on? Kim, how we doing? Let's go. We're back. We're back in Florida. We're feeling good. I'm switching up the times. I'm switching up the workflow a little bit because I was doing these later in the day and I felt like my energy was not there. So with that being said, I'm going to start doing these a little bit earlier. That way I can give the energy, the effort, and the attention that I want to bring to this podcast. So with that being said, let's get into today's episode. Just going to pull this up and we're going to get this rolling in a second. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. It's your boy, Coach Sal. Let's get it. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my experience of my first show, my first bodybuilding competition. I just got back late last night and I'm back in South Florida today. So feeling good. Wanted to share the energy a little bit and talk about my experience. Now, going into the prep, I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. I was scared because this was something that I thought about doing for a long time. And the reason that I didn't do a show for a long time is because I was scared of the use of steroids. And I'm going to be fully transparent and say, like, that's kind of what it is. You know, there was a lot of guys at the show who were openly talking about all the things that are running. And I went in naturally and was able to place top 5 at a national show. You know, a really big event that was just so many freaking people. And I feel like it's important to talk about that. And I wanted to highlight my experience and what that was like and why I didn't compete before. And that's the reason why. It's because I thought that it was not possible for me to pursue it at all if I wasn't taking compounds. But I basically proved that you can do it without it because I did the whole prep without any compounds. I placed naturally top 5, which is pretty fucking cool. And, you know, when I came off the stage at first, I was upset because obviously going into it, you want to win. You want to take first place, you know. But then I took some time and I was talking to my coach and, like, the fact that I was able to go to the show, finish the prep, you know, like there were so many things that could have went wrong. You know, I could have got hurt. I couldn't have finished it. I could have quit. I could have gave up. You know, I could have not placed. But I was able to take home a medal. I was able to meet a lot of people. And all in all, I think that's really all I wanted to be able to say was that I finished it, that I did it, that I took home some hardware. And I'm really proud of that. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because there may be people who are resenting the bodybuilding space, the fitness competition space, because I did. That's how I viewed it. I was like, there's no way. Like, I just can't do that without it. And I continuously want to be someone that proves that not everything is set in stone, that you can do things that you really want at the end of the day, because the belief that we have in our minds is just something that is created. It's something that can be changed. And that's the purpose of today's episode in this stream, is to continuously highlight that, is to continuously show that we are our own worst enemy, that we are our biggest critic. And if you're struggling in any way, shape, or form with creating that belief in yourself, then here's your message. Here's your sign to continuously try and go and push yourself. Because that's the thing. Like, and I said this earlier with my clients as well in our community, like, we're always stepping down in a sense, and we're always trying to tell ourselves that we can't do something. And we're programming that belief within ourselves. We're programming those negative thoughts to then go and limit our own being and our own minds. And the question that I have is why? You know, why are we continuously trying to belittle ourselves and try to tell ourselves that we can't do things when in reality you can do whatever the fuck you want? Like, I genuinely believe this. Like, if you're willing to put the time and sacrifice and have the discipline to pursue a goal, then why can't you accomplish that? You know, like, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, whether it's being a coach, a trainer, starting your own business, starting your own side hustle, a YouTube channel, a podcast. Like, again, before, like, I'm here on these live streams, right? I'm doing this podcast. I had no idea what I was doing when I started. I didn't think I was capable of doing a prep, and I did it. And I continuously just want to do things that I didn't think I could do to set an example for other people, because I genuinely enjoy helping other human beings level up. And that's the thing. And also the experience, like all the connections that I just made this past weekend when I was in Texas. I mean, I must have met probably over 100 people. And I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have made those relationships, those connections that are now going to be with me for the rest of my life if I didn't get out of my comfort zone and push myself. If I just wallowed in my own self-pity and just took the back seat and complained that I wasn't where I wanted to be, then I wouldn't have made all those relationships. And that's the thing, is like, that's really what I believe life is all about, is creating those memories, those experiences, those friendships, those relationships, because you never know unless you try. And that's really the message that I was trying to get across today. You don't know unless you try. And if you're continuously doing the same things over and over again, then you're going to get the same result. And I want to have my brand, my business, my culture, my community, my clients continue to push that envelope, because I used to struggle with that. And I don't think it's fair for anyone to struggle with that. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to. Oof, I almost just threw up. Does that make sense though? What do you guys think of that so far? What's up, TikTok? What is going on? Does that make sense? Is that valuable? What do we think? What do we got? I'm doing this at a different time. It feels so weird not doing this, because I usually do these at like 5 p.m. But I was like, you know what? Like, I've been like so robotic in my routine since I started, and I was like, yo, I gotta just like switch it up and keep things alive. And like, honestly, like that's what I think life is all about. It's just trying to like be happy and just stay in the moment, be present. So with that being said, let's keep it fucking rolling then. But honestly, I think this past weekend was arguably one of the best experiences in my entire life. And yes, I was extremely nervous going into it. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't sleep the night before. And honestly, it was one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever done. Like, to logically like think about that and zoom out for a second, to literally be like, as a guy, be in a bikini on stage in front of hundreds of people, like flexing, like it just sounds like just crazy. And if you're going to tell me a couple of years ago that I'd be doing that, I'd say you're fucking nuts. And that's the point. Is that's the goal with everything that I'm trying to do, with being a coach, with posting all these things. It's just like, that's what it is, in my opinion. You know, it's self-belief, and changing that is just something that's created. How is it created? By keeping those promises that you make to yourself, by continuously getting out of your comfort zone, be willing to make mistakes. Like, guys, my biggest fear growing up was public speaking. I've said that before, and I'll say it again, because it's just like, it's funny to think about how far you could go in a short amount of time if you're just willing to put the fucking reps in, you know, and put the time in, sacrifice, stay disciplined, all these things that we're continuously preaching. Why is that important though? Because I feel like sometimes we do the same things, we get complacent in routine, and then we kind of just like fall into this trap. Does that resonate with you at all? If it does, drop a comment. If you're listening to the replay, just nod your head and let me know. Because I think so often we're just continuously like routine animals, and we get complacent and we get comfortable, and we resist getting outside of that. But the thing is that everything you really want and that you truly desire is on the other side of fear. And I've seen that firsthand, you know, time and time again, over and over the last like 2-3 years. Like, that's what I've leaned into now, is if it makes me uncomfortable, if I don't want to do it, if it scares me, if it makes me nervous, then that's the sign that I need to go and do it. Like hopping on 5 different platforms and live streaming at once. I live stream 2-3 times a day. So you're looking at like 10 streams a week. You know, I just did my first bodybuilding competition. Jeez, what the hell is that competition? And I was posing in front of hundreds of people in a bikini. But like the experience that I got from that, everything that I learned, you know, throughout the prep with nutrition and training and just my mindset and leveling up and trying to be a higher quality individual, is something that I could look back on when I'm older and be really proud of. And that's the thing. That's all I want to be able to say, is when I'm older, when I'm, you know, 50, 60, 70 years old, I could look back on the things that I did and say, hey, I gave 100% and I'm at peace with that. And that's really it. At the end of the day, I think, in my personal opinion, that's all that matters. Like, can you say that? Like, are you giving 100% to the things that you're doing? And if you're not, that's the question. Why? Why are we limiting ourselves? Why are we continuously telling ourselves that we can't do things? You can. And if I could be someone to pull that out of you and show you that it is possible, then my job's done. And I'm not going to sit here and say I know it all, because I don't. I'm a young guy. I'm continuously learning on a daily basis. But if I could just be someone each day to make an impact on one person. And I do that over and over again. And over time, I feel like I'm making an impact on the world. And that's my goal, is to help inspire as many people as I can and to continuously change lives, because that's what I'm passionate about. And again, it's funny because I didn't know what I was passionate about a few years ago. I created this. This was all created through belief, through taking action. Like when I made my first video on Instagram, it took me like 60 tries because I had no space on my phone. I didn't know how to edit it, but I posted it anyway. And I'm sure there was plenty of people who made fun of it, but I wouldn't be in the position that I am now without doing that. I wouldn't be living in my dream state of Florida that I grew up as a kid always wanting to live in. Like when I was younger, I always wanted to live in Florida. Now I'm here. I always thought it'd be really cool to own my own business, and now I do. I always thought it would be really interesting to try and do a bodybuilding competition, and I did. Like that's what it is. It's all fucking belief, and that's created by just continuously getting outside of your comfort zone and pushing yourself. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. I've seen it over and over again. And if I could highlight that message to you, and if you take nothing else from this podcast and this stream, then take that. Every single thing that you want is on the other side of fear. And how you view yourself is everything. And you can change that. You don't have to stay stuck in your past. You don't have to be unhappy. You have the power to control that. And I really want that to resonate with you today. So the story you tell yourself is most important. You can change that. I really do believe that you can. So just continue to keep the promises that you make to yourself. Seek discomfort. And I think over time, when you do that, you'll change your life. So that is it. That is all. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next one. Let's go. That's it, baby. That's it. That is it. That is all quick. I like to keep these short. I like to keep them short because a lot of people's attention spans is short, And my boy, Danny Mullane, pops up. My brother, how you doing, bro? So that wraps up the podcast episode, guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll leave it open for a couple minutes. My next meeting is coming up soon. TikTok, what do we think? Let's go. Appreciate the follow. IG, any questions for your boy before we wrap up? Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, what do we got? Feeling fucking blessed, man. Feeling blessed. Happy Tuesday. You know the vibes. Guns. Yeah. Let's go. Just wanted to come on here, guys, talk about my experience from the show, share the energy a little bit, give you guys some updates, give you guys some inspiration, continue to set the standard, continue to push the envelope, level up into your best version, because why not? All we have is today. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not promised. Just staying present in the moment, doing the best that you can every single fucking day, because why the fuck not? I want to say one thing on that before we wrap up. And I think this is something that you could take value from. A couple of years ago, I used to be scared of doing certain things out of the fear of judgment of other people. And over time, that created a lot of regret within my life with a lot of certain choices that I made. And it was frustrating. And personally, I think regret is one of the worst things to deal with. Always thinking that, I don't know. Well, what could have happened if I did this differently? And I don't know if you guys can resonate with that at all, but that is definitely something that I used to struggle with. Is I wish I did this. I wish I tried out for this team. I wish I said something to that girl. I wish I was able to change my job. And we're always wanting and wishing these things. But in reality, I genuinely believe that we could accomplish whatever we want if we put our minds to it. And I continuously want to set that standard. I don't know it all. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I'm a human being. I'm just like anybody else. There's no separation. But I think I've come to realize that regret is the worst thing. I don't want to experience that. So I'm willing to put myself out there, be okay with failing, making mistakes, and really just putting it all on the table, because I want to look back when I'm older and say that I gave 100% to all the things that I did. That's all I want to be able to say. Yes, coming into the show, I wanted to take first place, and I didn't, and I was upset about that. But I was willing to put myself out there and be okay with making those mistakes and taking the failure and accepting that. It's not an easy thing to accept, but the thing is that you don't know unless you try. And if we're always wanting and wishing, but we're not taking action, then we're just going to get the same fucking result. And that could be a difficult place to be in. And I don't think that's cool, because you get one life, one shot, one opportunity. And how we continuously act is always a choice that's in our control, whether you want to believe that or not. And that's something that I talk about frequently with my clients as well. It is a choice. And that choice is always in your control. You don't want to listen to me, that's fine. You don't have to. I don't take offense to it. But for me personally, that has been one of the biggest shifts that I've had in my mentality since I graduated college like 3 years ago now, which is crazy to fucking say that it's been that long, but that's what it is. I'm not a woman, but can you help me achieve my fitness goals 100%? Now, guys, let me highlight that too. I specialize in women's transformations, and I consider myself a women's body recon coach. But obviously, I could help dudes as well. The human body, the whole like fitness, mindset, nutrition thing, it does obviously work for both genders. The reason that I am a little bit more gender specific is because I'm able to really connect with the ladies a little bit more. They're a little bit more receptive to the coaching is what I've seen over the last couple of years. And it's a lot of fun working with them, and they really enjoy it. So that's why I've kind of niched down to that regard, and I continuously stay in that path. But to answer the question, Danny and everybody else, yes, I could help guys as well. I do have male clients. I'm just a little bit more focused on the ladies because it's been a little bit easier on my end as far as getting them results and enjoying the process on both ends. So that is it. I'm ranting a little bit, but I wanted to come on here and deliver some fucking value. Was that helpful, Danny? Yeah. Yo, my God, bro. I hope you're doing well, man. All is good over here. Just continuing to do what we got to do. But that is it. I just wanted to share a little energy with you guys today. I'm going to be doing these streams probably at the same time. I told myself I was going to do 4 to 5 a week. So we're probably going to do these at this time. So if you guys have certain things, certain questions, certain topics you want me to cover, just shoot me a message. Let me know. Be happy to do that because sometimes I draw a blank with knowing what to talk about. And that's that. I'm going to scroll on TikTok. And TikTok had a question too. Let me see. Let me just scroll through really quick. Valeria, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll through these really quick, see if I saw anything. All right. No questions on that. All right, guys. I'm going to go get my next meal in, and then I have a meeting to hop on. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you got some fucking value. Phone birds, you know the lives. Okay, let's go. Have the best day of your entire lives, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love. Let's get it.